All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. How's it going? I know it looks like I wear the same thing every day, which is kind of true, but I just kind of rotate in and out t-shirts, and it's really cold, so I just kind of cycle these flannels in and off. So I kind of do wear the same things every single day, but you know, well, I look the same every single day. That's just how it is, I guess. Welcome everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today is January 16th, Thursday, 2025, and we are back learning some computer science. We are going to be taking a jump back into Harvard CS50X, looking at the problem set 2, where we will be, doing various problems in C. Let's go ahead and let the Discord know we're live. Okay, we're good. Forgot to change the thumbnail. Oh, shoot. I'll have to do that really quick. There we go. Got it changed over there. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Bring this off to the side. Let's do div. Log in here. We are in here. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. So we have week 2. Woo! Week 2. All right. Let's do this. Let's do update 50 here. Already up to date. Nice. Okay, so Scrabble. In a game of Scrabble, players create words to score points, and the number of points is the sum of the points values of each letter in a word. For example, if we wanted to score the word code, we would note that the C is worth 3 points, the O is worth 1 point, the D is worth 2 points, and E is worth 1 point. Summing that these, we get that code is worth 7 points. In a file called Scrabble.c in a folder called Scrabble, implement a program in C that determines the winner of a short Scrabble-like game. Your program should prompt for input twice for one player to input their word and once for player 2 to input their word. Then, depending on which word scores the most points, your program should either print player 1 wins, player 2 wins, or tie in the event that 2 players score equal points. Cool. So, whoa. My kitty's running all crazy. Hey, David, welcome in. How you doing? It's awesome to hear from you. Wing Hong, welcome. How you guys? What's going on? How are you guys feeling? Welcome. Happy Thursday to you guys. You guys doing all right? Sky, go lay down. This is mine. So, we need a data structure that will allow us to Like, can we use a dictionary here? I mean, but we're in the arrays lesson plan, right? Was the dictionary talked about? Let me open up the CS50X folder I have where I've been taking my notes. Did we talk about dictionaries even? So no, string length, libraries, calce, just arrays, and void, process, encryption, string length. Okay, so no, we only talked about arrays. We didn't talk about dictionaries. Okay, so let's make a folder. Not here, sorry. Here. Called Scrabble. Let's then make a file called scrabble.c. Hey Zimba, welcome. How you doing? Data structures homework. I spent the whole day doing undergrad probability homework, class homework. It was really hard for me. Ah, yeah. What other things what other projects you guys working on? What other homework you guys doing? So, how in an array? So we have obviously an array for letters and an array for points. Right? The array for letters are all capitals. So I mean, we could do two. Are you given the letter or points array? We're not getting any of that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here is what kind of like date structure are we going to use here? So we could use kind of like a matrix and then just have each index C correlate to the spot 1 to 1 with A equals 1, B is 3, C is 3, right? So index 0 will equal to access both of the lists to provide. Right, because we weren't given a dictionary yet at this point in the class, so I don't feel it's appropriate to use a dictionary, even though that would be really nice to use. All right. Are you guys taking CS50X at all? Why is this so small? I zoomed in. I should make my font bigger. What? Remote spaces, crispy train. No, that was not it. Also modifies in workspace. Okay, it's workspace then. Okay. Control C. Copy the points list by hand. Yeah, I guess so here. Okay, so, all right, we have to remember how to use C, right? So we need to include studio standard IO .h, and we need to include CS50.h, right? Okay, so then let's go int main void, which is going to go okay, I like that. Oh, so now you don't use brack, you don't use col. I see I've been writing in Python a lot, guys. I've been writing, okay, so like this, there we go. Int main void. So we're gonna say player or int or string p1 input is equal to or p1 input equal to get input or get string, right? Which is going to get a user string saying, what does it say? What does a prompt want it to say? Player one? Yeah, okay. Player one. Boom. Right, so we're going to get string. We're going to make a string for player one input and make player one. Okay, we are then going to call another string p2 input is equal to get string quote player 2, right? No, I don't think we want \n because okay. All right. Cool. So we get these two inputs, right? We then need to do get score. I'm going to call my get score function, which is going to take in the player one input and the player two input, right? Like so. We need these, right? We're going to call get score on this. So down below here, we're going to call int get score on word. Actually, so we'll get score on just one singular word, right? We'll call get score. We'll set this equal to a value, which will be player one score is equal to this. We'll return, this is going to be an int. We'll also call this int on player two score is equal to get score of p2 score or input, right? Just like so. So now we have this int get score of word, right? So for this, the word, we're going to say scores is equal to an array. Or how do you set up an array in shoot? I forgot. How do you set up an array in this? Int scores with 3 available options, and then you set them with those indexes. Okay. Whoa, do you have to do, whoa, okay, do you have to do this every single time? Or not for every single one of them? Is really? Do they not let you copy this? That's so troll. So we need to call int scores which is going to house an array of size, 26? Are you serious? Am I really going to have to set all 26 of these? Anyone have a faster way of doing this? Int scores at index 0 is equal to 1. Index 1 is equal to 3. Index 2 is equal to 3 as well. Next one is equal to 2. D is 2. Okay, so you can set it like that. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that we could do that. He didn't show that example. Way better syntax. Okay, thank you. Yeah, why didn't he show us that example in the lecture? Okay, 1, 3, 3. Can I copy this? Oh, let's go. Okay, now 1, 3, 3. Ooh, come on, keep going. Almost there. Jeez, come on. There we go. Okay, so we have scores, 26 scores here, right? Ends on 10, starts on 1. Yeah. Okay. So what methods? So let's first just handle, I lost a 0 on the first 10. Oh, I did, you're right. So it comes after the 3, which comes after a 5, 1. So 5, 1, 3, 1, 0 right there. No, it comes 1, 1, 1. Oh gosh. 8, 5, 1, which is the L. 3 is the M. 1, 1, 3, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 4. You write that. Okay, perfect right there. Okay. So I know that we have to handle like if they, don't give, or I guess if we can just ignore non-alphanumeric characters because they don't. Right. The thing is I would have to say where the alphabet is. I'd have to also give the alphabet, right? I have to give the alphabet as a reference array as well. Because I don't want to have to, I want to match the letter, pull that index, and then put that index at the point. I don't want to have to, provide, right? Yeah, so let's go char alphabet equals, which will take in 26 characters as well. Now, hopefully I could use ASCII for the alphabet. Okay, so that's right. In the lecture, David talked about how numbers have various. Okay, so let's go ASCII table. Like this. Okay, let's zoom in on this guy. So then, okay, so we'll say this. So we know that alphanumeric characters here right, let's first just handle if they type in all uppercase. Wait. And then we'll handle the other cases of non-alphanumerics, non-alphabet, and non-uppercase. Decimal, hex, oct, HTML. So I'm guessing it's just 64 is the value, 65, these are the value. Okay. So then how can we actually access the individual I equals 0 n string length of s to upper, which is a function in string type. So we could just call the to upper function inside, which is in the it's going to give me where it's located. I don't know which one's located in. Okay. Okay, so if A is our first letter in our alphabet, it corresponds to 65, right? So 65 is our 0. And then Z is 90. So our range is 65 to 90 in ASCII, right? So we'll have to essentially so yeah, so it starts at 65. So 65 is technically our 0. So we have to subtract 65 from the value and report that value, report that in the array, right? So if I'm wanting index 0, I provide an A, it equals 65, minus 65 gives me A at 0, right? Corresponds to the result of integer in this list, right? If the user gives a C, right, 67 minus 65 would give me the second place, or the second index is 2, right? So the int index is equal to so it would be the char, right? The person's char that they put in. So okay, I got you, right? So I'll just put this as placeholder here, like this. So it'd be index is equal to char minus 65, right? Because if the user gives, let's give another example. If the user gives a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth letter F, they type in 70. Well, 65 minus 70 will give us 5, and that'll give us the fifth 1, 0, 1, 2. which would be index 5. All right. Oh yeah, Mike P. Funk. Yeah, we are taking a little break from the leak code. We will jump back into that. I just wanted to finish up the problem set 2 for CS50X before the weekend, because on the weekends we watch the next lecture. So, right, I want to make sure I have this right. I'm accounting for the index. Okay, so if the user wants to, if they give an A corresponds to the value of 65, right? So it'll be, which will give us index 0. Perfect. If they give a B, it'd be 66, will give us index 1, which is the 3. Perfect. Okay. So then we'll say, so now we need to do this in our loop, right? For, I like to say character, so I'm bad at the loops here for C. So we have for the character, we set the character equal to, so how can we access like for every character in Word? Like in Python, we would say for char in Word, right? Or for something in Word. Um, so in C, it's the variable declaration, the condition, and the increase or decrease of the variable. So for um, oh, for C in, not C in, so for C is equal to, we're just trying to get the ranges over and access every character in Word at that range, right? So, okay, got you. So it's character, which starts at 0, index 0. I guess we'll make this index rather, just to be easier. Our condition is, so we can include here the what is it, string H, right? And then we can give the stir, is it lang like that? Stir lang, no abbreviate, no underscore. Sterling of Word. So this will give me, if it's 4, 0, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2. So if the word is literally word, it'd give me 0, 1, 2, 3, and the string thing is 4, so it would be 0, 2, 4. I plus plus, like so. Yeah. Okay, so for I is equal to 0, we're going to go through the stir length of word, and we're going to increase I each time. So we're going to then evaluate at this condition The middle has to be a condition. So I has to be less than str length. So it'll stop on the increase up to 4. Okay, so we need to say word index I will access the actual letter that we're on, right? Minus 65 will give us the index value of the character in the character score in our Scrabble game here, right? So if I is A, or I is, if we give a first letter of A, right? If we say apples is our word. A would correspond to index 0 or a score of 1. A has a 65 value, which gets, reduced down to 0 here. And then will this try to return the value, though, that is associated at value 0? Will this try to... Will this give me null, or will this give me 0, 0, 0? Or 0, right? That's my question. 48 subs away. I know, right? Isn't it crazy? You guys are so awesome for, sticking with me here. So we do need to declare I, though, as an integer, right? Semicolons, not commas. Yeah, you're right. See, I'm still bad at the syntax here, guys. So I'm a Python head. I'm a snake. I'm a Slytherin. Okay. So, sorry, Kit Kat, break. So now we're reducing the word value down by 65. And that will save as index. But index is saved locally here, so we need to actually declare int index out front to gain access to it, and then we can just do this. And now we'll say actually we want to on the letter by letter basis, we need to get the score of this. So we'll keep int index here and say score int score is equal to the scores at index of index, right? But we do need a counter, so we'll have to return, so int score out front here, like so, equals 0. And then we'll declare, we won't need the integer declaration out front here, so we'll just go scores plus equal scores index, right? And then at the end of this function, we're going to return score. Okay, so we start out with a 0 score. We loop through we get the index of every value in the word that's provided, which we need to declare here as a type string, right? Word is a string. It gets a length of 4. Let's say that word is literally our word. So 4 is placed here. I starts at 0. We go 0, 1, 2, 3. When I is greater than or equal to the 4, then we stop the loop, right? We don't want to go past. So because we want 0, 1, 2, and 3, and we'll stop on 4. We don't want to do the iteration on 4 as to greater than. No, not while it's equal to, it has to be less than. I apologize, because we don't want to do it while it is equal to 4. We want to stop one iteration before it. Perfect. So now we return score. Score gets returned back to here, and then we need to evaluate. We need to say okay, so we need to evaluate these scores now, right? So let's go back to our problem. So if player 1 is bigger than player 1 wins, else player 2 wins. If they're equal, tie. Okay, great. If P1 score greater than P2 score, right? We need parentheses. If it's greater than P1 score, print F player 1 wins, like that, \n. Elif, or else if P1 score less than P2 score, right? Print F player 2 wins, \n. Else print tie, right? We don't need to evaluate the tie, but what if they don't give anything? Whatever. Tie. Like so. Okay, so that will handle that. So now let's go ahead and try this out. Let's just see what happens with simple inputs here for all capital letters, right? Let's go ahead and say we need to bring up our thing here. Open an integrated terminal. Bring this out. We'll say make Scrabble dot. Do we say make Scrabble.c? No. And okay, too many errors. Let's make this bigger. Get score input, too many errors. Call the unglared color function. Okay, so we need to reference the function out front here above main of int get score or word, like that. So now if we make Scrabble, so we need to string word. Let me Scrabble. Keep going here. We keep getting errors here. Let's keep going. Too many errors. Player one. Okay, we need to comment these, right? Let's keep going. Error, closing brace. This got deleted. It's way down here. There's two of them. Okay, let's try again. All right, that compiled. Here we go. We are moving on. All right. Now it's just / Scrabble. Player one, word. Player two, word. Tie. All right, let's try it again. We'll say super. Player two, word. Player two wins. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now let's just make sure that this is correct. Let's go. Well, tie did work. So does it have an example that we can reference here? Question is tie, red, wheelbarrow, obviously. Okay, yeah, so just do a really long word. Okay, so we'll do this, Scrabble, player one. Oh, you guys can't see that, I'm sorry. Let me put this on the bottom of my screen. Okay. Okay, let's make it, let's go red. And then let's go wheelbarrow. Player two wins. Cool. Now let's make sure player one can win. Let's go Wednesday. Let's do tire. Player one wins. Cool, awesome. So now we just need to handle our edge cases, right? So if the user we need to evaluate if it is an alphanumeric character or not, right? And if it is, we need to convert that character to an uppercase. So you got an example here of 2 upper for that value and returns the string. So we need to uppercase the character. So let's take a function and we'll call string is P1. So actually, should we convert every character to a capital or just handle the case if it's lowercase? Probably just convert it to all capital. Yeah, so let's go string, and we'll also call stir cap, or what's it called? But that capitalizes individual character. Yeah, so stir cap on this as well. Right, we'll call stir cap on here as well. Right? And so we need to define stir cap. So int string stir cap we'll take in a string as the word, right? Or as like stir, right? Or we'll say word, right? Like this. We say for int I equals to 0. We're going to do the stir length of the word. I mean, we're already looping through and accessing every index value of it in here. So, I mean, we could do the conversion in here as well, which is probably wise. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, right? Right, me and Lo are on the same page. We said that exact. You typed that chat as exactly as I said that. So rather than doing a separate loop again, why don't we just utilize this current loop that we're doing and just have it return all of the necessary information? So let's do that rather. So let's do let's keep the get string, and then in our get score function, we're going to return a value of a score of that input. Okay, so we need to take the character. We need to say for every character, right? Can I call an if? If word at index I is alphanumeric, which is the what? To upper string C. My examples here were, is it in string H or is it in it's in alphanumeric? Which one is alpha in? Alnums. I mean, we could say if it's in range of a certain character, right? So if we have our ASCII table here, 65 through 90 is uppercase. 97 through 122 is lowercase. So we could say if it's in this range, subtract 97 from it. Well, you'd need to take the difference of these two, which would be, what, 32? So subtract 32 bits. It's just a 32-bit difference. So if it's greater than 90, if it's in the range of 97 through that, we could just subtract it, right? if word at index I, I wish they would give us, like, is there a file for the functions that they provide? Right, you just subtract 32 bits from the character to get there, but we need to determine if that character is alphanumeric or not. And in order to do that, it has to be between the range of 65 and 90 or 97 and 122. We can manually set that range, but I think we have a function given to us. In our examples. I'm all over the place. So string, get string, this takes dir length. Status, print v, scores. About my notes, do I have a CS50X functions in C? Here we go. Okay, so is alnum is alpha. Okay. So if is it like that? Is it a method applied to it? No, it's a function. So word is alpha. Does this return a true? This function returns a non-zero int if C is a capital alphabetical and 0 if C is non-alphabetical. Okay. So if is alpha on word if is alpha will return a non-zero int Okay, so if it's alpha and so this no, so we say a non-zero int if C is alphabetical and 0 if C is non-alphabetical. So if the word is alpha, that would return. So we need to set it to a variable, and which is the word, right? So this gets to word int equals to this. This gives you an int, right? We say if word int if word int is less than, what is our ASCII table here? Is greater or equal than 97 and less than 122. So if word int is less than or equal to 122, and word int so if the word int is greater than or equal to 97, we're going to so this would not be char, this would be char int. Char int, right? If the char int is less than 22 and char int is greater than or equal to 97, then char int is equal to or minus equal 32, right? Index char int minus 65. Right. You don't think alpha returns an ASCII value? You think it just returns 1? It says a non-zero. Returns a non-zero if is alpha C. Okay, so it does return a true and false then. You don't even need to. Okay. So we'll say if, so I'm just going to declare this right here really quick. Char int equals to word index I. Okay, or current char, right? Right, rather. Would be a better way of saying it. Current char. Current char. Current char. Current char. Okay, cool. Okay. So then we can say if is alpha current char, right? Ooh. Like this. right? So if the current char is alphabetical, right, we are going to, if it's in this range as well, we're going to lessen the current char by 32 and then do this. And okay. So this is going to take so we need to have this go into here. All my parentheses are all out of whack here, or my colons. So this got to go here. Inside this for loop. For current alpha, if that current char okay, so does this highlight mean I have something wrong here? So we have a current char that we're on, right? If it is alpha, we're going to go ahead and if the char is in this range, which it means lowercase, we're going to subtract 32 from the char, ultimately to subtract 65 and get the index and then return the scores index, right? Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Maybe. Or string data type in the parameter. Yeah. Current char. There we go. Index is equal to current char at I. No, current char minus 65. I'm already doing that here. Okay, let's try it. Let's give it a go here. Oh boy. Make Scrabble. I'm gonna have an error. Oh. Expected. Okay, I need. So okay. If there's alpha there, like so. Make Scrabble. Included header. I need the C type. Like so. Oh. Make Scrabble. Okay, that made. Here we go. Here we go. Player one. Zoom in here. We'll give apple. Player two, apple. Tie! Okay, now if I give Scrabble, apple, Apple. Tie. Woo. Okay, cool. So that's cool. Nice. Um, Now what if I give Scrabble, apple, pear, player one will. Okay, cool. Let's do uh, apple, apple. Tie. Nice. You say my or is outside the condition or outside the conditional. Okay, let's do, he wants to do apple and apple. That. Player 2 wins. Okay, so that's not correct. If is alpha. Oh, because it's doing this, so this needs to be. This is part of the project. This is part of the CS50X here, one fit squad. So we need to take, I think it's because our for loop, we're doing that on every character. We need to do it inside the if statement if it's alphanumeric, right? So we'll control X this, come up here, current char minus 32, int index like this, scores index like that. No, but I don't want to do it here actually. I think it'd be better to do it here. Right? We're going to, if it is alpha, go ahead and change it. But inside the if statement, if alpha, it needs to go there. Yeah, right, Patrick? That was too deep before. This is one step back. So now let's make this guy. Oh, that got deleted. Make Scrabble. We'll go apple, apple, tie. All right, let's submit this bad boy. Let's submit this guy. All right. Give me a 1 in chat if we're going to pass the CS50, check 50. Give me a 2 if we're going to fail. 1 if we pass, 0 if we fail, right? 0 for false, 1 for true. 1 if we pass, 0 if we fail. What do you guys think? Before I do it, give your bets. I wish we had like channel points like on Twitch and we could, put bets up to see if I compile or if I think that would be fun. Majid says 1 here. A lot of people saying 1. Patrick says 1. Okay, Patrick's saying 1. I think we might be okay. All right, let's go ahead and try it out here. Come on. Moment of truth. Show me the money. Show me the money. Come on. The suspense. Oh! That's what I'm talking about. First try, check 50. There we go. Woo! Nice. All right, we solved this one. This one was fun. This one was cool. We had to utilize the ASCII, to be able to, check on those evaluations here, which was really cool. We did do the is alpha here. I mean, we could have done another check using ASCII, but we have this tool at our disposal, so we might as well use it. Right, it's a part of C, so. But we got some familiarity with ASCII here. So I guess we could have said, like, we could have also made a condition to say that it had to be within the range of 65 to 90 or 97 to 122. That would have been the condition to remove this is alpha statement here, right? If current char in that, or in this range and this range, or in this range and this range, right? Sweet. Nice. I think that was the easy one though. Oh no, there's the hard ones are down here. All right. Everyone cool on Scrabble? Script Circuit, what's going on? My C++ project is coming along and I'm getting better at it and I'm understanding better now. Awesome. That sounds really great. All right, I think we deserve a little bite out of the Kit Kat for that one. This Kit Kat was kind of busted. All right. All right. Very nice. Okay. For those that you that are new watching me, my name is Michael. I'm 25 years old. I'm about to turn 26 in just a few days, which is kind of crazy. But I I graduated back in 2021 with a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I work as a formulation chemist. And I've been teaching myself Python and streaming it for the past, couple of months. I started 6 months ago teaching myself Python very part time, and then I I started, and then so I started with CS50P. Once I finished that over the summer of 2024, very very part time, 1 or 2 times a week. I finished my final project at the end of the summer, and then I started this channel because I really got a passion and it kind of lit a fire for wanting to learn more and do more. So I started this channel as a way to track my progress, to also help with my personal studying, and to anybody else out there that might be, in a similar situation to myself. I currently have a job as a chemist, so we're not really doing this, in like a lot of people are, where you're currently like really main focus is to kind of seek employment at the end of the road. Our main goal here is just to learn new skills, and through the medium of computer science here, just because I find it really, really interesting. Majid, what do I do at work? I make biological controls. So think of, like, I make like big, big vats of solution that are like human and biological based. So like blood, urine, plasma, um, you know, spinal fluid I've made before, like synthetic before. I've made like I've made some pregnancy tests in the past. They're not actually like designed to be pregnancy tests, but they're designed to like should have the markers to indicate pregnancy. For like testing, like against various diseases and ailments. Like a think of like when you go to the doctor and he runs like a full panel across, for these types of tests, right? And then he just run my control against it to verify his ranges and his values in it, and calibrations, right, to give a proper diagnosis. So I kind of mimic things that you would see with certain diseases, like diabetes, with um, like rheumatoid factor is kind of a big one, like RF factor. What's kind of interesting about RF factor right now is that it's pretty difficult to source, because people are treating arthritis with steroids and with medication, and so it's hard to find human or biological sourced materials from people that haven't been impacted by real or first world medicines, that have been exposed to these types of medicines, right? So um, they usually would have to source them from, like, which is kind of funny, like Amish communities, or like heavy secluded church groups, because oftentimes they don't allow like outside first world medicine, and so you can able to, like, offer them a price, and they'll let you like take blood from them basically, and you can get uh, you know from like elderly patients that have rheumatoid arthritis, or those uh, necessary things, whatever. It's hard to explain. So R&D, no, I don't work in the R&D department. The R&D does a lot of like, trying to come up with new products. I don't come up with any new products. I build currently established products. Now, it would be cool to maybe join like the R&D technical side of it with the experience I have to help start kind of making these products from and building them from nothing, right? But no, I follow like general kind of like guidelines to building these products, and then I kind of use my knowledge and expertise to go throughout this process and complete them and document it and everything. So um, yeah, I perform the actions R&D has already done basically. I'm like I make the products that go to the customers, for like medical and hospitals and clinics and things along those lines. Grid wave, sorry, grave wave, the gravy train. Kind of like parts of the human body without micro nanoplastic, there's not control group for it anymore. Yeah, exactly. Like, think about like if you're trying to develop, things to help against antibiotic resistance. Well, a lot of people have current, antibodies or viruses out there that already fight against a lot of our antibodies and our current antibiotics. So it goes along those lines. As medicine improves, it's harder and harder to find people that haven't been impacted, so you can satisfy those people, though those patients, that are experiencing those ailments. Unfortunately, there are people that still suffer from that, despite the medicine that's out there. Okay, cool. So that was Scrabble. Now this is going to be readability. According to Scholastic's E.B. Webb's, Charlotte's Web is between a second and fourth grade reading level, and Louis Lowry's Lois Lois Lowry's The Giver is between an eighth and 12th grade reading level. What does it mean, though, for a book to be at a particular reading level? Well, in many cases, a human expert might read a book and make a decision on the grade, year in school for which they think the book is most appropriate. But an algorithm could likely figure that out too. In a file called readability, in a folder called readability, you'll implement a program that calculates the appropriate grade level needed to comprehend some text. Your program should print and output grade X, where X is the grade level computed, rounded to the nearest integer. If the grade level is 16 or higher, equivalent to or greater than a senior undergraduate reading level, your program should output 16 plus. Instead of giving the exact index number, the grade level is less than 1, your program should output before grade 1. Okay. Background. So what sorts of traits are characteristics of higher reading levels? Well, longer words probably correlate with higher level reading levels. Likewise, longer sentences probably correlate with higher reading levels too. A number of readability tests have been developed over the years that define formulas for computing the reading level of a text. One such readability test is the Coleman-Liau index. The Coleman-Liau index of a text is designed to output the U.S. grade level that is needed to understand some text. The formula is index is equal to some constant factor times L minus some constant factor times S minus some constant factor, where L is the average number of letters per 100 words in the text, and S is the average number of sentences per 100 words in the text. Click the below. Okay. Interesting. So we have to. This is an interesting problem. Read. How do you spell it? Ability. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Readability. Right? And let's bring this out. Bring this into week 2. And then here we're going to make a file called readability. dot C. Okay, we're going to come in here, we're going to include standard IO dot H, and we're going to include CS50.H. Yeah, no worries, script. I'll check those. Hey, Angela, welcome in. How's it going? Von Trail, testing to see if my name has changed. Don't mind me getting rid of one fit squad. Oh, no worries. Von Trail. Welcome, Von Trail. Okay, let's pause this so it doesn't keep looping. So we have int main void, right? We're going to get some user input here. So string equal user input is equal to get string, and it's going to be prompt will be text, like that, right? Okay, we are going to call a function called eval string on our user input, right? This is going to return a grade level, which is going to be a string as well. Cool. We are then going to print f the grade level. So we'll do percent %s grade level, like that. Okay. Next, we have a function called string eval string, which takes in some string. Stir. Right? Now what we'll say is we need to compute L and we need to compute S in this string, right? And then evaluate this index and return that index. So L is the average number of letters per 100 words. Int L is equal to average number of letters per 100 words. Average number of letters per 100 words. Okay, so we're going to have to so we need to evaluate, right? We have to evaluate what is a word and what isn't out of this string, right? We have to evaluate spaces, basically. The spaces will indicate where words end and begin. And we need to also check that they're in the, if there is alpha, right? They have to be is alpha as well. So can we loop over this string? So we need to loop over the string and evaluate how many words are in this string by determining if a character if the next character is not alpha, that is the end of a word. So we need to make words, basically. So for example, in this text here, right, we'll start at the W and go through. Once we hit a space, we know that we've captured a word, right? And once we've captured a word, we need to increase the word count. So after every space is a word, so plus one word at the end for no space at the end here. Oh no, because after every space is a word, so plus one for the beginning word. So we need to count the number of spaces, basically. So int spaces equals 0. For I equals to 0, and the length string of I counted spaces to count words. I've seen other folks look for \0 to register a space. What does the \0 represent again? Null? What does the \0 represent, Ryan? I forgot. So length string of stir less than I plus plus, like so. If stir at index I if is alpha, no. If stir at index I is equal to quote unquote a single space, so if we go, okay, we found a space. So let's say if we find a space, we've captured one word before it. So the when will be captured. So we need to then capture plus one at the end for the last word, right? Because it won't have a space after it. It'll just end with a period or whatever, a non-alpha. So if the string at index I is equal to a space, so I'm going to make this easy on myself, and rather I'm going to go like this. So char of stir char, current char, right, is equal to stir at index I. If current char is equal to a blank space, right? If current char is equal to a blank space, then spaces plus equals 1. And then at the end of this loop, right, at the end of the loop, we need to call spaces plus equal 1 one more time for the last word. Yeah. So that'll count the number of words in a message, basically. Right, int spaces for I in the length of the string until I is less than, while I is less than the length of the string. We're going to keep increasing I to capture every character with an index value of stir of I. If the current char that we're on is equal to a blank space, then we're going to increase the space count by 1, which is basically our word count, right? So this is, rather than spaces, we'll put words, right? Because if we meet a space, we have finished a word. So this will be words, right? Now, what do we need to do? We have successfully found the number of words. We have found the number of words. We need to count the number of letters per 100 words. This is a trickier one. Null byte was correct. Okay. So L is the average number of words per 100, number of letters per 100 words. Oh my gosh. Seems like just a lot of work here. Okay, so where L is the average number of letters per 100 words. So we've successfully counted the number of words. So we need to, while words is less than or equal to 100, do the following. So we need to do a character count, though, per 100 words. Man, I'm thinking there's a lot of different ways we could go about it. Like we could use an array to store. So we've counted the number of words, but we need to stop at every 100 words and evaluate the number of letters in those words. And save those in an array. Okay, so at this point, if words right? If words modulo 100 equals 0, right? If the words modulo 100 is equal to 0, meaning that it can evenly divide it by 100, it's a multiple of 100. Number of letters divided by words. The average number of letters per 100 words. So the thing is we have to go 100 words, take the average of those letters right then, those number of letters, and count them, and then take the average of those numbers. Right, so if words divided by 100 is equal to, modulo 100 is equal to 0, meaning that we can so if it's evenly divisible by 100, right, we need to now evaluate the number of letters that were in these words. So can I establish a variable here called letters? Is a blank array. Letters per 100 words. So we have letters per 100 words, which is a blank array. So if the current character so this will be an array. Is it R? How do you define an array again? Didn't I do that earlier in my Scrabble? Oh, just an int of what it is. Okay, so this would be an int as well. Letters per 100 words. Make this number of letters per 100 words. Or every 100 words. This is strictly for letters, I believe. Not spaces. So if current car is this, increase words. Else if, no, we want this to be evaluated as well. If current char is equal to, quote, or if current char is alnum, right? Or is alpha, right? If current char is alpha, we're going to hold on. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to set word initially equal to 1 to account for that last word. Now this might be dangerous though, just because what if it's a blank string, right? So if is alpha on current char, we want to go ahead and do letter plus equal 1, right? So we'll need to have int letters is equal to 0, and we'll do letters plus equal to 1, right? This will be like that. Okay, nice. So we say letters plus equal to 1 if it current char is alpha. Now, if words so this will need to be done inside my loop. If words modulo 100 is 0, we are going to take the number of current letters that we have, append it to our number of letters per 100 every 100 words array, and move on. You're going to prevent a blank string in this case, so it's a non-starter for the PSET. Okay, so we'll do 0. Keep it words equals 0. If words modulo 100 is equal to 0, what do we want to do at this point? We want to capture the letters inside the array. So number of letters every 100 words, right? And how do you append? How do you add to an array without using an index value? We weren't taught that. What's a double? Math Studio. I have to use an index. But I don't know. I don't have an index. Right? I want this to dynamically grow depending on this evaluation. We haven't learned about vectors yet though in the class, so I'm trying to use things that are at our disposal currently. Hmm. Take a step back and look at what you need. The average number of letters per 100 words. So every 100 letters, or every 100 words, I need to get the number of letters, and then take the average of all those inputs for every 100 words. The number of letters, the number of words, and the number of sentences. But just by simply knowing the number of words, so then you could just say if current char if current char right, well, if it's a space, then we're going to just increase. We need an else if, right, because if the char is that we don't need to do any other check. So this should say else if, and so should this one. Because we don't need to do an alpha check if it's already been done here, if it's already been finalized that it is a space. So else if current char equal to period, right, this is going to be sentences plus equal 1. Right? But I need to know so right, this tells me the number of words. This tells me the number of sentences, this tells me the number of letters, and this tells me, so if the number of letters at index what is equal to what? Oh, so initially, okay, let's do this. Let's say index is equal to 0. Let's int this like that, and let's put index here. and then we will go index plus plus, like that, right? And then is equal to is equal to so L is the number of average number of letters per 100 words. So this would be letters at this point. Right. So we set an index value to 0, right? That will fill the index value at 0 with the number of letters if this value is to true, and then we increase index by 1 on the next iteration for if this is true. So then we'll say right, so we're still in our for loop. After we get done with our for loop, right, we also need to find S though, which is the average number of sentences per 100 words in the text. So if words equals 100, we need to index equals 0, number of sentences, so int number sentences every 100 words is an empty array, like that. We'll also call number, before we increase index, number sentences every 100 words at index is equal to sentences at this point, and then we're going to call increase it up. So that will, right, do that. So now after the loop is over, we need to compute L and S, and then the total grade value, right? So int L is equal to zero for is there a sum array function in this? Math, seal, floor, base 2, power, round, square root. No, there's no sum. Okay, so for I equals 0 in the int I equals 0 John, I think it's a little late for that suggestion. We're kind of deep here. Appreciate you, though. Okay, so for int I0, we want to go over the entire range of the is there a length array function? Ooh. So we need to evaluate into index 0. So this has got to come out. Go above. And the length, so we can't take the length of an array. I equals 0. So we have to know how many times words was counted, right? So if we go back to here, we need to know the average number of letters per 100 words, right? And I can't index loop through the array, so I have to my brain's slowing down here. Your index that is running sum. Is it stir length? I just write it down. Yeah, stir length. Okay. For j equals 0, through the number, we need to know how many times the, right, because every 100 words we made an update. So we can log a count for the length of I don't know, Umang, please don't spam though. Okay, you're getting timed out. Jesus. What's that about? That's lame. Okay. So we can create a count for I just feel like starting to get a lot of so if I know the amount per 100 words, I can get a length of this by counting the number of entries made to index here. So it's index. right? Index starts at 0 and goes up every time we make an entry. So this will be index less than j. J plus plus this. Okay, we'll say L plus equals to number letters every 100 words at index j. And then after we do that, we're going to take L equals L divided by index. We're going to do the same thing for S, but S is going to be in S, right, is going to S is equals to not number of letters, but number of sentences every 100 words at index k. Right, like that. All right, and now we just return this evaluation. Now, if we did this right, who knows? Grade level equals 0.0588 times L minus 0.296 times S minus 15.8. We return grade level. Call int here. That was the average number of letters for 100 words in the text. Now, I might be interpreting this wrong, which is kind of annoying because how I'm reading this is it's saying the average number of letters for every 100 words in the text, per every 100 words. Now, me as a scientist and as a chemist, I read this as every 100 words you have a number of letters, and then you have to sum that average. But this might be just saying to take the number of letters and divide it by per every 100 words. Per every 100 words in the text. Yeah. So maybe, I know we did all this right, but let's comment this out. We probably don't need this statement then either. We get the number of letters, sentences, and words. So let me just go to my ASCII table. So it can be exclamation point, period, or question mark. So those don't really have that much relation. Oh, not on the space. I know I'm doing it here. Hold on. Right, like this. Or if it equals to this. At the end of the for loop, we'll say we want to return L is equal to, or int L at this point is equal to, oops, yeah, that's what I thought, John. This phrasing is pretty terrible in my opinion. Like, Harvard, what are you doing? But Ryan says he solved it with doing it this method. So I don't know if our method here would work. So int L is equal to, dude, I don't know. Ryan, did you submit on check 50 already? Because I'm with John. I read this as taking an average of the number of letters every 100 words. Right? Give me one sec, guys. Give me one sec. All right, I'm back here. Um, yes, twice. Yes, twice. What'd you say yes twice for? Okay, let's get back. Hold on. All right, I'll stream until 10 o'clock here, and then I gotta wrap it up here. But okay, so we have L, and we'll pick back up where we left off tomorrow. So oh, submitted twice. Got you. Okay. Yeah, they need to change. They need to. I think that they should provide you the equation rather than making it work, because this leaves it up for interpretation. And me and John were under the interpretation we had to every 100 words stop, count the number of letters that were in that 100 words, send it back. But that would, I guess, that would leave you a potentially an empty slice, not an empty, a slice at the end that could be less than 100. So that technically would throw off your formula, right? Because if you took 100 and then that last little bit, you might, if you don't have an even number out of 100, right, for your entire length of the string, then you'll have a leftover chunk. So I guess that Ryan's way does make sense under that circumstance, because right. John says right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So int L is going to equal literally number of letters divided by number of words times 100, right? Int S is going to equal the number of sentences per words times 100, and then we're going to go int grade equals 0. I'll take this guy here, that, and then well, I mean, Ryan, I was going down this whole tangent just because of a misinterpretation of the the question here, the prompt. So like I wasn't even going to get anywhere near the right answer. I was going off on a different lane here. But it makes sense given that you won't have a string that is exactly modulo 100 for the entire length of the string rather than just the 100 words, right? You could calculate a perfect, you know, average across every 100 words, but this is just giving you like the cumulative. Letters per word equals, yeah, right? So letters per word basically means the amount of letters per every one word, right? And then do that times 100 words. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then we're just going to return grade like that. I'll just remove all this junk. And then we can get rid of this. And so we print grade level, but we want to return grade level. Okay, I think that this is somewhat decent. Let's go ahead and try it. Make readability. Eval. Okay, so we need the eval string to go above the main, like so. I equals 0, stopping. Okay, we need to int I equals 0 in this for loop. Make readability. We need string h header. Include string.h. Make readability. Oh, it doesn't like, I put a comma here. It's supposed to be a semicolon. And my syntax needs a lot of work. This one is current char. No, it's cleared here. Okay, so we'll have to say, why can't I pull this current char here inside this for loop? Oh, I have chart. Thank you, Patrick. Current char. Oh, that's a, yeah, okay, it said it for me there. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. It's still going here. C type. Jeez Louise. My gosh, so many bugs. I suck at this. C type.h. Let's try one more. Oh, return grade. Error incompatible integer to point conversion in from a function. Incompatible integer to point conversion, returning int from a function with type string. Oh. Int eval string. Oh my gosh. Int eval string. Make readability. String grade level. This is int grade level. Make readability. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's not a string, it's an integer. Right? So we have to go percent I. Oh, semicolon. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, jeez Louise. That was like 10 errors in a row. Okay, text. Take this guy. Paste. I did not like that. Readability. Oh, shoot. It kicked me out of here. Open with terminal. Make readability. Readability. I'll just say, hello, my name is Michael. It is very nice to meet Yeah. Grade 1. Okay, let's try this out. Let's do the check 50 here. All right, ones and zeros in chats. 1, you think it'll work, I'll pass check 50. 0, if you think I'll fail. What do you guys think? Ones or zeros in chat. 1 for pass, check 50. 0 for fail. Let's see it, guys. Do you believe? Do you believe in the cause? Here we go. Ah! Ryan says 0. No! We're gonna fail. Ah, no. I got the grade wrong. Do I have an error in my formula? Oh, because we don't have those checks for before grade 1. All right, we need a couple more checks here. Okay, here's some how to tests. Okay, we have a couple more things we have to add as well. I forgot that it has these other things. Not returning what it's looking for? What? Um, to the nearest integer. Yeah, so we need to... It's interesting though, some of these grades don't align up right? So I didn't get a single grade evaluation correct, which is interesting. Do I have something wrong with my formula? 0.0588 times L, 0.296 times S, minus 15.8. Is it order of operations? Is it not doing that? Or is it the rounding? So this gives me an integer for grade. But I don't want an integer, I want a float on grade. And we want a round grade down, or round grade, right? So math has a round function, math.h. Right, and we'll round this guy. Grade. Rounded. Yeah, exactly, Ryan, right? So it wants us to return not the grade, right? We want a round grade. right? And we want to say if grade is less than 1, right? Return a string return L and S also would have to be floats, right? Because if we have grade being a float, we wouldn't want to preemptively round off L and S. So that's why we're getting this rounding error is we're preemptively rounding off, and so not keeping those extended digits, and that's why we're getting lower denominations. That's a mathematical tell, lower magnitudes. We're prematurely rounding. Okay, so if grade's less than 1, we return so this will return a string then. This will return a string here, and then this has to be a string here, right? Print the string on grade level. Like so. And then what happened here? Wait, what happened here? Okay. Print percent S \n grade level, string grade level. Handle the conditional in main. Yeah, that's a good idea. Int grade, like that, grade level. So if grade level less than 1, print grade level grade. What is the print for this one? Grade before grade 1, sorry. We'll keep this on. Print f before grade 1. Else if grade level greater than 16 is 16 or higher. Greater than or equal to 16. Grade level print f grade level 16 plus, else print this, right? %I here, and then we need to cast LNS as floats. So that means that if that is a float, also letters has to be a float. Does words have to be a float as well if it's included in this float calculation? So words, all of these has to be float if I'm needing to do them in an A calculation including decimals. Okay. Now let's go like this. Make readability, return grade, make readability, readability. I'll copy one of these example texts in here. It should give us before grade 1. Yep, and we need the \n. Like that. Oh, you left them like ints here. That's probably better because they're going to be recorded as whole integers anyways. But we would have to then cast them here. Right. Like so. Like so. So if we cast them to float inside here, then that'll equate out to a float. And it probably is better because we're saving whole integers value here, so it's better to keep these as ints here, right? Oh, you just float the whole initial thing, it'll take care of it, the entire value. If you float the inside of the, will this just float the single? Does this apply like a distribution of float across all variables? Make readability, readability. Let's take this guy. Harry Potter, it should be grade 7. Or no, yeah, Harry Potter grade 5. Paste. Grade 5. Alright, let's try it out here. Ones and zeros, everybody. Ones and zeros. Ones and zeros. Put them up. Put them up. If one number is a float, the division gives a float result. Okay. Shoot. What? Grade level 16 plus. Does it want a colon? Oh, it doesn't want grade level. It just wants grade. And then no colon here. That's why. All right, now ones and zeros. I didn't like I was not grade colon, right? It was just how my print statements were. I had colons in there. Oh, shoot. So now it's going higher than the expected grade. Hmm. I'm running out of time here, you guys. You have to float the 100 with 0.0. So it didn't like a grade 7 output or a grade 9. About grade 8 here. Grade 8. Was it doing some sort of rounding on this 100? Hmm. Dang it. Grade 9. That gave me grade 10. Okay, so it's my equation that's wrong. Punctuation in question. So the chart, are there any other options? Period, exclamation point, question mark. Commas aren't counted in this is alpha for the letters. On spaces, words are counted. Right? We have, that would be checked in the is alpha, right? Hyphens for letters. You have to start with one word. Start with one word. All right, I gotta wrap things up here, guys. My girlfriend's trying to go to bed here, so I'm doing words plus here. I'm increasing the word count, right? The apostrophes count for anything? No, they wouldn't be included in anything because its letters is alpha. I'm already increasing words by one, but you'd have to, we need to account for the last word, right? So words has got to be increased by one here. You have to account for the last word because it gets a period or whatever at the end. Right, so add one word there. So make readability. Oh, I always forget it. Make readability. Readability. Before grade 1. Well, that's supposed to say before 9. What? Before grade 1. So then if I take in, there are many more things that have an earth ratio in the philosophy, which is grade 9 it's supposed to be. It gives me before grade 1 there. What about this one? Grade 10. Before grade 1. And what happens if I get what? Words plus plus. What am I missing? So clearly it's calculating that low for some reason. Why? grade is less than 1, return. So clearly it's coming out to less than 1. Oh, get out of here. Oh, percent F. No, just once. I thought you do plus plus to increase once. Oh my gosh, always missing these. -12. Sentences. Why am I getting a negative? Why am I getting negative? Letters divided by words times 100 should not be giving me negative. You're doing it if there's a space and also every iteration. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Words plus plus outside of the for loop. My fault. Oh my gosh. Come on. I'm right there. Make make readability grade 10. Perfect. Okay, now let's get rid of this and then let's run. Grade 10. Perfect. Okay, I think this might be it. Right, we had to move that words to outside of the for loop. I'm not used to these braces. I'm much better at the indents and using colons in Python. I need to get better at understanding that nesting is using these braces and to track it that way. Woo! Nice. So yeah, we just had to move the words plus plus out from here because it was adding a word at every iteration. So it was giving us way too many words. So we had to just add to account for the last word, right, that doesn't get followed by a space, but rather just by a punctuation. We had to account for that there, and now that'll do it. Man, these ones are getting longer and longer. I thought this wasn't going to take us that long, but only 2 problems. We have 2 more for the week problem set, and it took us almost 3 hours to do 2 problems here. So, I mean, they were pretty long. They had us do some functions and a bunch of checks and stuff, but yeah, quite. So lessons learned. You have to cast floats to, capture the entire float evaluation. You can't just float the variable out front because if you want to capture the actual decimal places in the mathematical operations, the variables used within the math operations. Now, if these were just numbers here, the float would be captured probably. But because these are variables that represent integers, I had to specify specifically. Um, Interesting. All right, cool. If the conditional only returns one value, you technically can remove the. All right. All right, thank you guys so much for helping me out with this one and with the previous one. So we completed readability and Scrabble today. So although we only did two problems in this amount of time, these problems were had a lot of checks and stuff we had to account for, and I'm also still getting used to the C syntax. So thank you guys for um, thanks so much for helping me out with this and for being patient with me in the syntax. I am still kind of grasping C. I'm not as good as I am in Python with it, but yeah. So this was readability and Scrabble. So we will do more CS50X tomorrow and complete the last two problems out of the problem set 2, Caesar and substitution. I'll try to take a peek at these tomorrow and read them over so I don't use as much time tomorrow just actually plugging and chugging, unless you guys enjoy that kind of that approach of me just coming at it from without ever reading it before. But I usually like to read them ahead of time just so I have a little bit of an idea going into it to help save some time and make it a little less boring. But anyways, I thank you guys so much for joining me today. Today was really successful. I feel really good about this. A lot better with C, just syntax wise, still getting my hang of it. Thank you so much for following along. We're close to 1,000 subs. We're really, really close. So super soon. If you join my Discord link below, you can get access to all my study resources and we can chat offline. And I'll be back tomorrow at around 7:30 p.m. PST. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.